Welcome to the NACL Grand Prix. Race to playoffs is about to begin. Teams, on your mark, get set, go!
It's the race to the playoffs this time of the year, and our champion is gonna take us to a new gear. Gotta rev up your engine, take your foot off the brake. We got NA talent coming, this should be a piece of cake.
You better watch out, something wicked this way comes. Shoji just caught you, fiddling with your thumbs. When the weepers walk the road, you better stay clear. The streets belong to Cincinnati, I fear.
Robbie Bob is here to take you back to school. While music sequence will make you look like a fool. You'll tremble in your feathers before the attack, cause the last thing that you wanna hear before the grades crack.
They're new to the league, but they got a lot to boast. 3 returning champions to make this guy toast. Meech and Young not looking so reckless, all part of a full and balanced breakfast.
Down the tracks they go. It's anyone's race at this point. That's right, but oh no. AoE's got a Tristana Ziggs combo. Take cover!
Late game run, it's time to get wrecked. Feeling all this damage is area of effect. Will on the hunt like he holds a grudge. Knock you out of the park like he's Aaron Judge.
The Titans of Collegiate got school in the name. Oh, don't worry, try to beeline right to the top lane. If you're down, but got fright on the mind, it's a race to playoffs, head to the finish line.
The race is on and the clock is ticking. EG in the lab to get things clicking. Found the roll, Chet Shaden here to carry. Smoothie and King stacking bodies to bury.
Everyone rise to the pledge of own nation. Top just got a solo kill donation. You think that it's easy? I don't really doubt it. Oh, another upset? You wanna talk about it?
Here comes the white flag. Just one more lap for our teams around the track. And my goodness, pulling away from the pack, your top 3 teams!
In the sky high, they fly high right before your eye, and before you die, you'll be asking why can't a rookie be on Wi-Fi? Oh yeah, it's Masu. Say bye-bye.
We got Kills and Mudo, those guys from 100 Thieves. If you face them in draft, there's tricks up the sleeves. When the chips are down, it's time to show the ace. Got the pedal on the clutch, drifting into second place.
It's liquid, they told them not to keep on the fire, but the way that they're playing, you can't get any higher. From 2 Chainz, Bradley, MVP, and Mir, they're leading the pack, and the end ain't near.
And off they are going to the finish line. Better step on the gas, cause we're running out of time. If winning's the goal and you really wanna brag, then you gotta be first to pass the checkered flag.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LCS Challengers League. What a game that was between Disguised and Wildcard. Back and forth, and it was Disguised who ended up coming out on top. We've got our Turo key drive to break down one of the last plays of that game. That fight around the Baron, around 40 minutes. I mean, there's so much to unpack here, Cubby. I'm just going to let you take it away.
The big things for me, Soligo being zoned out by Young. Alt burns solo on the Akali. It's a 1v1, so the Azir never able to auto down that front line. And then Lens, his ult was forced early. Really never able to pressure Meech in this fight, as Meech just got the free fire front to back. And you can see what kind of work they were able to do if that's the case. Really well done by this guy to set up that team fight for themselves.
Yeah. It was a really big pick-apart moment. And you could question, obviously, Lens focusing on Fake God that entire time, but there's really no one else for him to hit. And if Fake God gets on top of him, he just dies there. So a lot of this was just a really good centered fight from DSG. They knew exactly where to move and how to flow with it, and they continued to stick as a team while Young was forcing so much pressure on the backlines.
I had like 3 or 4 clips prepared for what we could have been this key drive. All of them had like a 3 or 4 man Zeyzal Alistar knockup because that guy played an incredible game as well.
That is a LPL Gold Graph virus right there. My goodness.
My heart rate monitor during that game, yeah.
I don't know if you're living after that heart rate.
Oh man, what a game that was. We got some time to break it all down, but before we do so, it's time for our Rally Cry halftime show. I've got something pretty fun planned for you guys about some of the players that we were discussing as being potential candidates for most valuable prospect. This is called Champ Pool Party, because not only have Fake God and Keel both performed really well throughout the season, they also have some pretty wide champion pools. So this is going to be similar to some other game shows you might have seen around, where I have a full list of all of the champions that both Fake God and Keel have played, and you guys are going to take turns listing champions off. You get points for every correct number of games that that player has had. Does that make sense?
Oh goodness. We're gonna guess we're going off memory again. We're gonna see what happens. Last time it didn't work out for me.
This is me minimizing my tab with all the notes on it.
Yes. Do not do that.
Yes.
Make sure we're.
I will turn this way since my notes are on this screen. This way.
All right. Well, this is not just for the summer split, and also does not include this last game that we just played.
Throw so much stuff out. Caveats.
I've got one.
So there's a lot of games. We're gonna go in order. I guess Mazel, you can go first with this one.
Yeah, that's right. Give it where it's due. Okay, I need all the help I can get. Wild one here, crazy, insane, never heard of before. Cassante, bam.
Nope.
That is our number 2 answer, Cassante for Mazel. He's played 10 games of that in 2023. Cubby.
Renekton.
There we go. By the way, also something I forgot to reiterate: 19 points for Cubby. If you get 2 wrong, then you are out and done with. So
What?
And then the other player gets up until they get 2 wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I like this game.
Mazel, you're up next. We got a rapid fire here. We got a lot.
We're just gonna go with Jax. Why not? I know he plays Jax, but I don't know if that's his most. Okay,
6 points.
okay. Oh,
Or
we tied.
9 points. 9
We
points. Right now.
tied.
Yep. Okay. Cubby.
I'm gonna go with Gnar. It's not gonna give me the most points, but I know it's a champ that Fake got boys.
You guys are good at this.
Oh wow, okay. He's
Mazel.
played a lot
It's
more in
almost
spring.
like the top lane doesn't change that much. Crazy. Oh my goodness.
Once we get towards the bottom, be good.
Gwen? I don't know how many
Gwen's in there.
games
Gwen's
he's
in there.
played, but yeah, I gotta
2
go with Gwen.
games
Okay,
on Gwen.
2 games, Gwen.
Yeah, so that's 2 points for you, Mazel.
Scion duty.
True.
Not the next best, but
Ooh,
just close
not
enough.
the
That's
next
6.
best. Oh my goodness. Just because I know it's an easy one, and I know he just recently played at Rumble.
Okay, this is not including that last game
Yes.
he played. So it's
Mhm,
just
but
the
he
one
does
for
play
Mazel.
it.
Ornn. He's an Ornn enjoyer for sure.
Surprisingly, only one Ornn game here
What?
for Cubby. Yeah.
All right, I got one. I know it's one of his favorites, but he doesn't get to play it often. Aatrox.
Actual 1.
Also a 1 right
Yeah.
here. I would ask if you get bonus points for guessing the game. I don't know the answer though.
This one might be a miss, but I'm starting to run out of champs here, so I'm just gonna guess Cho'Gath.
Okay, not a bad guess. You get 2 points there for that one.
Ooh.
Fake God has played 2 Cho'Gath games.
Poppy, bring it to me.
Oh yeah, that's a couple.
Nice one.
That's a good
Yep,
one.
that's
That's a good
2.
one.
Oh god, I'm running out of top lane champion.
Yeah. Who was the other?
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds, Hubby. 10.
Oh god. I'm gonna have a bad guess here, and it's probably gonna be a strike. I'm gonna guess Camille, just because I'm running out of champs.
That's their first X. Mazel.
Well, I'm just gonna capitalize on things I think I know. He's played Fiora before.
There we go. We finally got it. That's actually huge for you,
Oh,
Mazel.
that's big.
Yeah, that's huge.
Gangplank.
Gangplank. I'm taking a look, and oh, Cubby, I think you're out. No Gangplank games for Fake God in 2023.
I am the champion.
Mazel, well, hold on,
I got more
Mazel.
points. You gotta keep
You gotta finish it off.
Oh,
you
I
gotta
have
finish
some
it off.
I have to finish it?
I have some bad misses in here.
You get 2
I
strikes.
I feel like I just win for being okay.
And I'll give you one because it's fun. Garen.
Okay, Garen.
Garen.
I guess we give that.
Yeah,
to
Mazel
to
gets points.
He
It
gets
was
1 point
Garen.
for Garen.
Thank you,
Yeah.
All right, you're on the clock here. We got another one to get over with.
Okay. Big team fight. Kennen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one.
God,
I'm
this
missing-
one.
I'm missing a tank from Spring. If you are playing into Renekton, you sometimes don't pick Ornn, you pick.
Come on, Mazel.
No.
You got this. You got
I
this.
don't know.
Magic
already-
damage. Flex pick. Was double flex
Cho'Gath?
soul
No, we
laners in
already said
Spring.
Cho'Gath.
Good, that's actually not better than Renekton. It's kind of base. You don't get dove.
All right, you get 10 seconds, Mazel. Running out of time.
I don't know. You're making me.
Gragas?
Gragas?
Yeah.
We got another one
Wow,
here for
thank
Gragas.
you.
All right, well,
Oh god, I'm gonna get these 2 wrong. I'm just gonna start randomly guessing. Quinn.
just guess. No Quinn.
Okay, I'm wrong. We're gonna go Yone. Why not?
No Yone.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
perfect.
I
There
think.
we go. I still feel like I should win.
What
But
are we missing?
So we're missing Malphite, Jace, and an Olaf game as well for 2023.
so easy.
I should have guessed
Cool.
Malphite.
All right, so
oh my god.
I'm
Bummed I
pretty
missed
sure.
Gragas.
I'm pretty sure Cubby took that round. Not only just from the score, but also helping Mazel out a little bit towards the end.
no,
We got
no, that's not fair. That's not fair.
You know, it's also not fair. I guess, you know what? Let Mazel guess first for this next one, too. It's fine.
Oh.
we got Keel. This guy plays a lot of
Cool.
stuff. So
Belva, obviously.
okay, not bad. That is not the number 1 answer though.
I know, it's
5
not,
games
but
of
I'm gonna
Belva.
get them out of the way.
Viego.
Viego's only 2 games over Leaguepedia, according to Leaguepedia. So if somebody's
Maokai.
There we go. Mizel with the #1 answer. Maokai, 12
Wukong.
games in 2023.
Wukong.
Number 2, 10
Yep.
points for
Good
Cubby
Kong.
here.
Sejuani.
That's probably next.
Ooh, no. Only 3 games
Only
of Sedge for
3.
Keel. There's some big ones that you're missing here, Mizel.
Kindred.
There we go.
That's yeah,
Next
that's at
up,
least in
9
there,
points
yeah.
for Cubby here.
Karthus.
Not
This is,
bad.
it's 2023 though. Yeah,
Yeah.
true. I
You
guess it was
still got
2022, we'd
4.
have a
You're getting
lot
the
more.
top answers off the board.
Chadzix, aka Kha'Zix.
Oh, not this one. This one here. 6 points on the Kazakhs pick.
Vi was super big in the meta. It's got to be Vi. Something's got to be Vi.
Only one.
Only
game
one.
of
Okay.
Vi.
Well, it's
yeah.
at least there. It's at least.
Lee Sin. It's a couple.
Got 2.
Yeah, I don't know if
two
it gives
for
me
you here.
8, but it's a couple. What's the other big pick these clowns were playing?
Mizel.
Ivern.
That's a couple.
You
that's
got
recent.
two
Yeah.
games of Ivern. 2 games of Ivern.
I'm gonna guess Graves. Just see if that's a game in there.
First strike.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Cubby with only. Yeah, so no Graves games here. For now, Mizel gets another opportunity.
Oh wait,
Games.
how have I not guessed this already?
Random.
There's one
Hecarim?
obvious one.
Yeah, how have I not guessed this already?
No.
Actually, I think he didn't play a Hecarim game?
No
that was
Hecarim.
City Witty playing that in
That
spring.
was City Witty.
All right, Mazel, we failed this one.
We absolutely dropped the
as
bag on this one.
I got next before I guessed Nunu.
There we go. The 4th most played champion. 8 games of Nunu for Keel.
Nunu.
That's crazy.
Gragas.
Ooh, second strike for Mizel. That is it for you.
I was
Cubby,
going off the deep end.
can you clear off the rest of the board?
Probably not. I'm looking at a list of champions right now.
I
swear, I swear.
Almost
it's champions.
cheating. You're very close to cheating.
Yes. I'm gonna guess a Mumu.
Very
I think he had a Mumu game in there.
Let me double check. And yes, 2 games of a Mumu. Actually,
Yes,
so Cubby
there was
gets
some
2
of
more.
Mumu.
4 more. You got
Has
one.
he flexed the rel yet? I don't think that's something. I'm not gonna guess that. That's not something they've done. Not something they've done.
okay.
No. Yeah.
No.
I'm gonna save it.
I'll save you. I'll save you. There's some fun ones in here. There's a
Nocturne.
couple of things he's played twice. Unfortunately, Nocturne was not one of them, Cubby. You have been eliminated as well. I actually can't see the points right now. I'm taking a look once
I'm
again.
up there.
Cubby took the dub
No,
once
you
more.
don't have to look at the points if you don't want to.
What did I
Just
miss?
Go on and we
You
can talk about
missed
the
over
players
here?
some more. We could talk about the champions that are left. I cannot believe we forgot about the
the
Udyr
Zac.
and the Zac.
Zac, Udyr, Poppy,
Literally
Jarvan
so
were
much
left
what
off.
they used in spring.
Poppy, I should have. That's a bad one. Poppy's getting picked a lot right now. Okay.
It's pretty
got
cool,
the
though.
Poppy for
These 2 players, we've been hyping them up just for their skill, but also like so many different champions that they can pull out.
Production is not guaranteed the correctness of the score. Thank you, production. I know you're leaning towards me. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about the numbers. We got to learn about the players, and it's about the journey.
And about Overcaster represent.
No. Grapes, don't stand for this.
That's fair. as
You
well.
can be
You
the
have-
difference.
I mean, if we're just voting, if we had to take any vote on a decision, it would be 2-1 in terms of play-by-play. So that is a victory that we're going to take.
Plays
But
rule the world.
Cubby has won both of our halftime shows, and let's see if Disguise wins both of these games. Into the draft for game number 2. Mizel, take it away.
All right, we're going to be getting into the final one of our second series of the day here. DSG on the blue side this time around. We got Wildcard on the red side. We'll see if any of those special picks come out for either side. Looking at Fate God and Keel's champion pools. Thank you for that one, Grapes. But the Kindred, one of the ones that we were highlighting for Keel, will not be there as it's banned away by DSG.
All right. Well, I guess that's kind of a perma ban against Wildcard. There's no surprise there. My eyes go towards the Kai'Sa Rel. Those are the 2 champions that we see most often getting through draft. As some other OPs are not usually allowed through, like LeBlanc. Expect to see a Tristana get taken away here as well. As this patch gotten more and more figured out.
I want to see the Tristana. I want it to actually make it through.
I think that champion is uber busted right now. So I don't want to see
Just take Jason
any
to
Tristana.
it.
No, I'm
Jason
not
to it.
convinced. This is not the LPL. This is not the LPL. We do not have Scout in this league, all right?
True.
Yeah.
We do have some pretty damn good mid laners themselves. Young really popping off on the Akali in that game number 1 specifically. See that Tristana ban has the second one for Wildcard, likely candidate. But I do expect now to see how much priority they want to give to this jungle matchup that we actually saw be pretty influential in game number 1, even if it was so back and forth.
And I want to see if Wildcard honestly respects Tomio's Maokai. Right? I think Tomio's done some really good work on the Maokai. In fact, as I'm going to
There's the Jays.
pull back up, my notes here.
Now you pulled them up. You definitely did not pull them up during that.
Maokai's 5-1 for the side of Tomio, so I think that's been a really good pick for him. But Kaisa left open, Rel was taken away. The Maokai, again, going to be selected for DSGs. Tomio continues to show his proficiency on this champion. They're going to prioritize that over the Kaisa, which now is given to the hands of the red side team. And Wildcard, got to believe they're going to take this and secure this for the rest of the draft.
And we were coming out of game number 1's draft saying, felt like Wildcard had a pretty stable mid to late game setup for themselves. I do want to see if they can get some more proactivity to ensure those leads can go their way, because they had a big advantage early. They just weren't able to pilot into a victory. And especially now that you get that at least Meech special of the Xayah, but also something that can provide a little bit of stability for him, it'll be really big.
Wildcard
at least Lens, sorry.
If they take the Kaisa now, I'd be surprised, as it gives away the flex. So it will be the Sejuani. And looks like they're going to try and play melee matchups into what is potentially now going to be a Kaisa for the side of DSG that could be flex between Young and Meech. The Xayah showing, already expect that to slightly lean mid. But honestly, a chance that we could see Kaisa fall in the draft, as we have seen the Cog Braum be a big pick for the side of DSG.
If you don't get the Jace, though, you got to get some poke with it, right? Like with the Maokai combo. I think it's still super important for them to grab up. So they do have some flexibility now with the Kaisa, but could see Meech just go ahead and pilot that one to have that strength in the bottom lane. And you do wonder if we got a little bit of that strength from Wildcard side in the draft from game number 1. Now we're looking at DSG, where they lock in the Rumble themselves this time for Fake God.
Heavy magic damage showing for the side of DSG. And honestly, the first time that Zamudo's Rumble, it feels like it's been denied. As he's gotten access to Rumble for the majority of the split. Will be that Xayah Rakan secured in the bot lane for the side of Wildcard. So Lens, Donbury going to try and do what Meech and Zeyzal were able to do in the last game with this combo.
There it is.
And now, expect some matchups to be taken away for Zamudo in that top lane into the Rumble. It's funny, actually, I had Zamudo in my stream last night. Talking about how there is an 80 matchup that he has hidden that no one will think of, that he swears wins into Rumble. Now, if it is a melee, maybe it could be paired up with Sejuani, but Wildcard looking to take away some of the sports that they don't want to deal with, and also the things that wombo really well with the Rumble, whereas DSG likely to take away something like the... Zamudo's not exactly the Cassante player, but still expect that to be maybe taken away, at least matchups that they feel like Rumble might not have as much fun into when it comes to...
I also like the takeaway from Zeyzal's Alistair. I think he saw some really pivotal moments in that last game, and just so many focuses
he earned that ban
in a lot of those team fights. Yeah, the Ornn does come out towards Zamudo, though, trying to take away some of the stable engage available to Wildcard. And the Nautilus is actually the final ban here for Wildcard, because they want to take away the combo with the Kaisa. The Belbeth targets Keel.
No surprise with the Nautilus ban. I'm wondering if Zeyzal would be willing to pilot a Leona. As we have yet to see a Leona from him, but he's not. What?
This is the pick! So Zamudo, last week when I did the 2v2, there was some kind of fixation on Warwick. He was literally always telling Kill, I want to pick Warwick here. I want to pick Warwick here. I want to pick Warwick here. They did it. They won the 2v2, and now we get the tech against the Rumble. Let's go!
I don't know if this was the AD pick that he was going to pick into the Rumble, but we have Warwick into Rumble. So Zamudo busting out some tech.
Flex. It could be some flex. I know both Keel and him were talking about, but I think it's got to be
going mid. No.
I think it's got to be Zamudo here.
What do we have here now for the side of Salik? Oh my goodness. This is a crazy draft coming out of Wildcard.
I'm glad that Zeyzal grabbed the Renata. That's all I'm saying, because there is going to be a heck of a lot of fights that you can actually kind of calm down or turn around with the hostile takeover. But yeah, the Zamudo tech come alive.
All right, so Wildcard, how big of a lead can you get in the early game, as you will get blown out of the water later? But Kiana, I think it's the first Kiana that we've seen in NACL all year. This is all about, I expect a level 3 gank mid, low Kaisa flash, and many revisits to try and attack Kaisa in the mid lane. And then Zamudo with the Warwick top lane. Yeah. I guess the idea is that you can all in Rumble, but also sustain. I'm just curious to see when Kill gets out of the map first. This draft is kind of crazy for Wildcard, but they're a team that always has crazy approaches, so excited to see what it looks like.
And a team that attacks you from draft all the way through game. They weren't able to get any teeth into DSG later on in the game number 1, but now they will have a tried and true setup for an early game shenanigans. As we are into game number 2 between DSG and Wildcard, make sure you're spamming in chat. Give some love to both these teams. They delivered a banger game number 1. One of the craziest gold drafts we've had here at NACL, closing out our final week here too. Make sure it's WC for Wildcard, DSG for DSG. We'll see as DSG themselves onto the map with some maybe vision gain coming out from Tomio early. This is a trick. You know, you find a level 1, they don't have to deal with the craziness so much as.
In a way. Shout out to Keel though for using the best Sejuani skin. It's Dawn Chaser or Poro Rider. No other
Why
choices.
Dawn Chaser?
Because it looks cool, man. Look at the lion.
Do you not like the
lions,
owl bear one? Like that one looks so cool. The one we got from Rosethorn earlier?
Nah, this one's the.
Oh my goodness.
Also, if you run Project Sejuani, you hate animals. So.
Why?
Is this mechanical? I make the rules.
And okay, well then, you know, I guess we now know the exact tier list of Sejuani skins.
Yeah,
straight from the mouth. But now
right.
I want to look into the mouth of Zamudo, where he has been cooking up some spice.
All eyes, honestly, on Keel, as the Warwick and the Kiana. These are both very early game centric champions about Wombo, but it truly is all about what lane Keel goes to first, as Zamudo's going to eat a Harpoon. And he's just going to try and brawl Rumble. As Tomio,
they're in some alcove gameplay right now.
Yeah, it's... Can we look at what's... this is one of the few times actually I want to see what's going on top lane early. As uses the Q to actually rip through. And be flashed.
Flash out from Meech, though. They should be able to get some damage back on the lens. Donbray going to be in some trouble, pushed out of the lane. This actually is pretty big for DSG. Get some priority from bot lane.
Keel's doing the clear where he ends top first. So... I think it's just going to be the Q through on the Rumble from Zamudo. And likely going to be one shot when Keel makes his appearance at the top side of it. Good ward from Fake God, realizing that this is likely going to be the play. So you can see pings onto Keel. This is spotted by the side of DSG as Keel's going to walk in and find an empty jungle as the reverse clear from Tomio. Really smart. So props to DSG.
Yeah.
This is a really creative strategy coming out from Wildcard in this game. But DSG, how they open up the map, has played some really good defense. But Fake God knows he's likely to be dove here. And I don't think there's anything he can do to stop this.
Tomio's on his way, though. That could be big. Zamudo's just going to go straight for it. This is the classic combo, though. Zamudo tanking up a storm. The barrier's not enough. First blood goes to Keel, but Tomio will be there to try and get something back. It's 1-for-1.
Okay, so Rumble still loses the wave, so it is still advantage over to the side of Warwick. Keel is going to reset, clean up the rest of his camps. Tomio likely to follow after this wave, so Sejuani gets back out on the map first. Wildcard, not what they wanted from the first dive, but given the defense that DSG played, I think this was a good answer from DSG. Credit to Wildcard for still going this. I think that you have to do this to play out this matchup, as Warwick will be ahead now in XP and gold. And Tomio, Keel just get a nice little injection for themselves. You know, buff things up.
Hey, rightfully so. They are going to be the facilitators for this crazy map here, and the skirmishing cannot stop.
Fake God just hit 3, like off the last creep. The fact that Zamudo now gets 4
full level.
Yeah, that's how far behind Fake God is. Again, Fake God didn't go for the TP, so he is just asking to be dove. And Zamudo can sustain through this with the Warwick. You can see that flame spitter damage. Not looking like it's much, but you get Warwick just consistently spamming the wave at low health, able to get that health back. Creative counter coming out from Zamudo.
Man, I love it so much. Wildcard have always been the team that makes you think from the get-go, right? I said they attack from the draft, and they are absolutely cooking up here. I know you said, you know, Zamudo had the tech, but I even seeing it a week ago, knowing they've been working on this for a while, it's awesome to see it come through. And it always makes you second-guess yourself for DSG. Now, they have played it pretty safely earlier. Tomio and Keel trading those kills pretty big, but you got to appreciate the minds that are behind Wildcard.
Also the minds behind DSG. Again, they played great defense, and now Tomio, he's trying to make sure that Meech isn't threatened on this wave. Zamudo even eating harpoons to deny CS. That's how confident he is. He really wants the lane here to force Rumble to overextend and open up for another potential Sejuani gank. As Zamudo playing with a little bit of fire, but still with that W passive and min-maxing it going low, he's able to survive going up against Fake God. So again, Zamudo, one of the things we've really liked about him this split, Mazel, is that when he does pull out tech like this, it's well thought out, and he is able to execute it. And look at that lane top. It's brutal right now for the side of Fake God.
Oh, it's so brutal. And it's funny because we were talking so much earlier about, you know, oh, Zamudo's always talking about, oh, I got to play for priority for kill. I got to play for priority for kill. But then these moments, you get to play through the confidence of Zamudo, and the lockdown is there. The fear is going to follow up it as well. They don't have the damage just yet. Those tower shots, even if you heal, are still strong early on. They won't get the kill just yet, but you can obviously see where Wildcard are putting all of their focus.
Keel can stick around, and they can deny the wave. They can dive it again. So we'll see if Keel and Zamudo feel confident enough to go for it. I think they should. Zamudo just did hit 6. They deny this wave. They need to push Fake God off this. They are losing the dragon while this is going on. But well played again from Wildcard, making Fake God's life hell in this top lane.
He literally cannot do anything. They're just trying to wave down this top side. You do have a move now from Young. Coming out of mid lane while Wildcard overextended here. There's the infinite duress. I don't think it's enough. He's trying to find the kill instead. He can't get it though. He's not healing enough at the tower shot. Thank God. Capitalization is key in disguise. Do just that.
Oh, not only is it Young, but it's Zeyzal coming on the roam to the heal, helping make sure that they didn't actually have to make use of the W from the Renata. Fake God able to answer back. Zamudo should get back in time to catch most of the wave. But again, DSG, this is a weird draft, man. The fact that DSG, I think, have had such good answers to what's going on so far, really good to see. As Zamudo, yeah, he eats 2 tower shots, or 1 tower shot during this. He doesn't care too much, but great shield, great heal from the side of Zeyzal. And Fake God doesn't even have to pop that Renata W, as he was A-okay. And now he has access to some lifesteal. So Warwick won't be able to purely auto-sustain off of flame spitter damage, we think.
It is still leaning into the strength of Zamudo. He's still so far ahead with the CS, and very difficult to play into. There's a reason why he picked this up, and it will still be very oppressive in topside, but it feels like DSG had that answer. The mobility there helps. Fake God just trying to be a stalwart competitor to Zamudo. And again, when we're coming to this one, all eyes were on Fake God. He is a front runner in our MVP conversation as well throughout this split and for Disguise.
The fact that he's just weathering the storm. I mean, you're Rumble.
I don't know how the storm's going to look in about 10 minutes, but right now it's okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll see. It's at least Rumble, you know, base damage is nice. That's
it's the equalizer. It's in the name, right? Like equalization. No, I don't think
I mean, we can go
like
back to old League of Legends where Rumble was picked in lane swaps all the time. So
we're going back to current League of Legends right now as Nature's Grass comes across bot lane. There's the Featherstorm used by Lens.
Nice bleed as DSG. I know they can't contest this Herald. Top side way too strong here for the side of the Warwick. And we haven't watched a lot of mid lane, but props to Young. He's doing a really nice job of keeping up with this Kiana. I am a bit surprised that we didn't see the Sejuani pit stop mid early on, as Sejuani and Kiana, very deadly duo in its own right. And Kaisa, if it's allowed to scale, can become very big later on in this game. So Wildcard still have to keep the pedal to the metal, secure that first Rift Herald. That's good for them. We'll see how much they can get off it.
Let's see if he can stop Meech. He does. Good grand entrance back too. That's going to be a bit troublesome for Meech. He just still has those 2 long swords compared to the Noon Quiver of Lens. He's still trying to get this wave in as much as he can. Lens and Donbray going to step up. There's the quickness. Meech have to flash out. Moonlight Vigil. He wants to turn it. It gets one back on to Donbray here. So it is the trade. A solo bolo for Meech, but the kill goes to Donbray.
Not ideal. They still lose out on the wave on the side of the Aphelios, so it's not too terrible. But Wildcard, well played by Meech. They did get both his sums, so I want to see if Wildcard can revisit that. That is something that Sejuani can punish, especially if the Kiana joins him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you can be a bit proactive on that too, it makes it that much bigger. Heal, look at topside, talk about being proactive. Infinite Duress used Glacial Prison just a bit late on the draw. Gil does have the Rift Herald. I was wondering if they want to just try and crash, get some more plates for Zamudo. And a pressure Tomio off the Scuttle Crab flash is coming out for both junglers.
And you can see it. almost looks like Wildcard's reaching a bit, but this truly is what they need early. They have to put the pedal to the metal. Because this team composition, as time goes on, yeah, Warwick's not going to be as valuable later on as Kiana, not going to be as valuable later on as the Kaisa, to no one's surprise here. So Wildcard really trying to get whatever they can while their draft is strong. And again, props to DSG. I think they have a really good understanding of what they need to do. It's just survive at all costs. And props to DSG, only being down 1k gold and a Herald that's yet to be dropped at this point of the game is about the best you can do.
And that's where I found it interesting, Wildcard going for this style of composition. Playing a little bit with the flexibility of the red side, but where we saw an early composition with a pretty strong little mid game, couldn't really get into a position to even win those late game team fights for them. So I want to see if this change up of style does affect them and have a little bit of more payoff at least. And now particularly see where Keel wants to go with the Rift Herald.
Looks like it's hovering bot. He's got to throw it down soon, as it has been a Dusk Blade secured for the side of Soligo. So and he takes down. He goes invulnerable. Going to be nice for the Kiana, who does have to go in. Find these fights.
Oh my goodness. We'll have that sustained back.
Yeah. It's strategic.
He has a 50 CS over Fake God up there on the top side of the map, but we do potentially have another Dragon focus here. Both Keel and Tomio around this way. Tomio starting it up already. Be a second Dragon for Disguised.
Here we go.
Benedetta, and he's a little angry now. The fear and the damage could follow up here as well. Doesn't have it just yet, but gets very close. Fake God doesn't have TP, so he won't be able to get back here and the backs. He didn't go through with it, though. Nature's Grasp is big. The Dragon goes to DSG. That hostile taker bought a lot of time, but the combos and the lockdown for Wildcard. Soligo pops the hell off. And the Kiana is big in the moment, and the CC chain is so huge. They'll still push down this bot lane, too, with the Rift Herald.
Great fight from Wildcard. Talked about how they need something. They needed to win that fight because they don't get that Dragon, the soul stacking, out of the option for them. And the Mountain Roll, honestly, the worst roll that Wildcard could get as a team that needs to break open fights early. Any pickup that DSG has onto those Mountain Dragons will be big, but still Wildcard, good execution. As Donbray punishing those sums being burned earlier by Meech in that 1v2, I think really helped give Wildcard the confidence to at least A, take that fight, B, execute it, which was much needed for them at this point of the game.
Keel getting a lot of gold early, but more importantly, Lens, almost 5k already. Got that Kraken Slayer completed on the back, too, so we'll have to look at what they can do with some of these spikes coming out on the map for Wildcard. 2,000 gold under 13 minutes, but it's something where DSG are stacking, they are scaling. See, now the handshake maybe going the way of DSG.
Well,
is there a winner in a handshake? Did I just break you?
Yeah, no, it's whoever gets their hand on top is the classic sales approach, right? If you're in control of the situation, you go in with your hand, palm facing down.
Ah, I see.
That's the winner.
That's the winner of the moment.
Well, like old school.
What happens if only one person has the ability called handshake? Does that person win?
Yes, because they're the ones who control the handshake.
Well, we'll see the handshake come out now. Actually didn't connect there on the Keel. Soligo has to be careful for mid lane, though. Young is pumping out some work, and he gets knocked back, and Zazel ends up claiming the kill there. Really good capitalization from DSG.
Soligo controlled, no supreme display of talent available.
The ward. Oh, Fake God gets so close, sinking the harpoons into the wolf. Oh, Void Seeker goes a little bit wide after the flash from Zamudo.
I want to see if Zamudo actually takes the fight top. If he lands his R, winning. There's no ignite for Fake God. What are we doing here, Zamudo? Yeah, he's gonna stick around.
Gonna heal up from the wave. Is this the moment where Fake God wants to back off? Yeah, it's actually insane. Every single auto attack, he gets so much health back. You will be able to sustain up in the lane. There is a Rift Herald coming up, and that's Rift Herald number 2 now with all the focus. Look at this for a Wildcard. They are all deploying up here.
I actually really respect this counter from Zamudo, as one of the things about Rumble is that you have no control over your wave. If you're going to Flame Splitter into the wave. Warwick, you have all the control in the world over the wave, and when you get brought low by Rumble to have the attack speed and the lifesteal to sustain off, and freeze the wave as Zamudo did, he's up 2 levels right now, not to mention the CS deficit. So
yeah,
Wildcard continuing to show that, hey, there is a good idea behind this counter pick. Now, I think overall Wildcard, they're not at the place of the game they need to be in order to actually win this out.
he has the Calibrum available. It does
the true
so
concern.
much damage there too. Look, even every shot. Half health already for Lens, but it was that first turret that went to Meech.
Meech Felio 7-2 this split, looking to push that to 8-2. As when he is empowered to step up, I think that Meech, his ability to space as a marksman,
Yep.
something that we don't see all of our great marksmen do in challengers. I think Meech does have that skill really well. Like, he excels the most when he is given more range as a marksman.
Yeah.
A lot of our marksmen we see, oh, they pick the right spots to go in, able to find kills and combos early on in challengers, but Meech, just as a raw range, you know, playing the Aphelios Jinx, I think is sometimes when we get our best looks out of him. So
And
he has a lot of money to try and show us that again in this game. So
yeah, and I think Zazel said it best, right? Like, he was playing with Lost last split, and he was saying how, you know, Lost is the most aggressive ADC he's ever played with. Zazel, experienced in his own right, has played with some damn good ADCs. But what he had to say about Meech was that he's the most mechanically gifted ADC he's ever played with. And I think seeing that growth from Meech on CLG is big, and he's going to have to come clutch now. Zazel with a big hostile takeover. Still should just be a capitalization as Tomio will fall. Big supreme display of talent from Saligo. And that means Wildcard should be able to follow this one up. They don't really have any engage tools available anymore, though. But they do have the flash from Keel. Here comes the Feather Storm from Lens, and the lockdown with the Blade Storm gives Saligo a kill.
keep going.
They should be able
Donbre's
to
got
get
the
that.
angle.
No. I don't know if they get the lockdown. Meech will have to use his cleanse. He has flash available. Donbre trying to predict it, but can't do it. Meech just holds his ground. And Zamudo, that's a big Moonlight Vigil, but the Infinite Duress connects, and Zamudo chomps him down, but the bailout buys time. One more shot. Saligo goes down 2 and 2 kills to Meech.
Meech takes a couple with him. Important for the side of DSG that we're able to get something back, because that play was all Wildcard. And props to Saligo. This is the timer where you want to hit hard as Kiana. And Saligo played that fight. It was a great situation for him. The party was started by Keel and Donbre. Saligo came at a great angle to try and take down the side of DSG, but oh boy, we haven't been stopping. There's a smite available here for Tomio. He's going to go for it.
Oh, he doesn't get it. It's actually Lens that capitalizes on the moment. Both junglers not able to secure it, and Tomio ends up getting ripped apart and turned into some firewood as we look back into the fire that was that last fight.
Interesting flip from Tomio. If he secures Mountain Dragon, it's really good for them, but pushed a little bit hard. Really well played by Saligo there with the R flash over the wall. Ends up blocking up Zazel, and then we have the long chase. To go off Keel. Each rotates out to green, purple. As the rip on the Young. Oh, that's a nice look. That Kaisa ends up falling down pretty quickly. And Donbre, I respect the gas on the flash.
I want to see the outplay.
Yeah.
Meech just standing tall right there, too.
I respect the gas on the flash, but also Meech is a player where we're always like, all right, if this guy has any 50-50 reaction speed test, he does not lose. He was not losing that one, and Len's going to get
hostile
melted
takeover
down.
there as well. Killer instinct from Young trying to take out Donbre, and look at the flash from Fake God. He gets one back. Here's the Nature's Grasp just coming across. See the tower getting a little bit low. Zamudo's coming down now to try to join the fight, try to join the defense, but this is the last outer tower fallen, and DSG take advantage of it.
And Zamudo doesn't want to be grouped with the team at this moment. He still wants to be in that side lane against Rumble. So I think Wildcard pushing this far up, they're opening up windows for DSG to actually find plays onto them. And this very aggressive draft yet again, starting to run out of steam here, Marcel. 1 dragon difference in favor of the enemy and only a 400 gold lead for Wildcard. Not what you're looking to secure when you draft picks like Warwick, Kiana in the solo lane. Wildcard so far have fallen short, and now we're going to see some of the scaling come in for DSG as Young is 1 item away from being that Kaisa that we have seen just dominate the late game.
You know what they say about having windows? It means you can win D's. Let's go. See if they can get through this one. Meech with a
I would like to get in touch with Emily about that one.
Why? It's a famous Zix moment from Heist all the way back in the day when 100 Thieves first came that out.
Okay. That's...
Yeah, come on. You say always it's all about taking advantage of the windows, because when you do, you win these. Come on.
There was a
Head out of
joke
the
that
gutter.
emerged a lot in the time span between that quote and now. that I thought you were
you know,
referring to.
get your head out of the gutter, Cubby. Get your head out of the gutter. Anyways,
Involves
we're getting
acorns.
right back to it. As Baron is up and available with Wildcard strength through Zamudo, maybe they can look to burn things like this, but right now it's just about vision game and pressure out of mid lane.
Curious with Wildcard, are they going to start this? No way. You cannot start Baron against a Rumble. Tomio is going to be able to scout this out pretty easily with the saps. I think Wildcard would love to bait a fight in the jungle. From the side of DSG, that's really where Kiana with the terrain has a better time team fighting with the Supreme Display of Talent than what she can grab from what's around her. It's actually the Prowler's Claw. Has seen a recent buff for the side of Siligo and Kiana, so maybe trying to use that a little bit, as it does synergize very well with her kit.
Can do, and that's like the wombo combos that are the dream setup, right? I think you can hope about that, but it's about execution in the moment. Now that we're getting to second items, there's a lot of potential for both sides to have a lot of damage in front-to-back situations, but more specifically, I feel like Young with this Nashor's Tooth is really going to start ramping up, even with that kind of Prowler's Claw completed for Sligo. He did get that Navori Click Blades for Lens, so at least Wildcard have a lot more say in these fights.
I think Wildcard, they really need to start fights off on their own accord. And that's so difficult when you're playing into a Maokai with all the saplings that are able to come out. But as you called out, Mazel, there's still some potential for Wildcard to make plays coming up here. And I really think that Wildcard, they still need to keep on hitting the iron while it's hot, because that Kaisa, that third item will be the timer where things go south. That was healed.
Tomio just getting in the thick of it right there. As Zazel with the handshake back, Zamudo locked down, and he goes berserk and fit it to rest out, but that snipe from Fake God goes on a killing spree. And it was last series these teams came together that Zamudo got the better of Fake God. Well, we'll see if Wildcard can punish them some more. There's the supreme display of talent, but Saligo's the only member left, and there ain't nothing left for Wildcard. That's an ace and a Turo Baron buff on the horizon for Disguise.
Yeah, Wildcard's comp, they've run out of gas, and it's time for DSG to gas on up with that Turo Baron buff, as the brute force from Tomio, they have 5. They spotted Saligo. And the fight's over for Wildcard before Sligo's ever able to get involved. You want to have snap engages with the Sejuani, Rakana, and then follow up with Supreme Display of Talent. Do a lot of damage early in the fight, but instead it's DSG that pulled the trigger with the Nature's Grasp into that Equalizer. Yes, Fake God falls, but the damage was done as Wildcard taken off the map, and DSG going to get started with their own time to zone out. Wildcard take some towers for themselves, as unable to happen early with the composition, but now they're going to catch the hell up here.
We talked a little bit about Tomio's Maokai coming into this one, and the decisiveness I just saw there is incredible from this guy. Being confident in himself, not needing the team to be the engagers for him or telling him what to do. He goes in, he flashes, he bramble smashes, he Nature's Grasp, and sets up that entire fight. And that is the pivotal strength that each one of these members represents for DSG, is they all can show up when it matters most. And we're seeing Tomio just lead with the aggression here.
Oh boy.
That Equalizer comes down as well, and Zamudo needs to run away, but it looks like Donbray won't get even a chance, as Young will cake him out. And that's all assist for the whole team. Zamudo doesn't have a way out but a flash. He's going to try to heal up, but he goes down to Tomio, who goes on a killing spree himself.
Game over for Wildcard. You picked an early game comp, you didn't get ahead, and these are the consequences when you face that, as DSG understand that they can walk unpunished as 5 as Tomio goes in yet again.
Supreme Display of Talent comes out, but it's not going to buy any time here. Tomio is just running rampant all over Wildcard. And what a comeback. This was last meeting. Zamudo got the better of Fake God. Wildcard got the better of Disguised in a 2-0. And they are coming back with some cold serve revenge here as bot lane goes in a bit of a trade. We do see mid lane be pressed heavily by DSG.
Is it cold served revenge, or is it just, DSG purifying them? They have sinned.
Purifying?
Yeah. It's war with Kiana solo lanes, man.
Is that sinful?
Yes!
It was the Zamudo tech.
It was. I don't mind the tech, but when you group up as 5, you can see how useful the Warwick is, which is not very. So the tech didn't pay off in full, as it needed a hit earlier in the game. DSG, they have taken all the outer... Any turrets. Hold on, I had to
Close,
pause.
yeah.
Another Nature's Grasp being thrown out.
All right. Handshake right back. What did we say about handshakes? When it's only on one side, it's kind of unfair. Meech goes on a killing spree.
Yeah, while the Warwick, he was unchained in lane. He has been kept on a leash by Zeyzal and the rest of the Skies in the back half. Out and Drake falls. All but said and done for DSG. And honestly, for the Skies, Bazell, this is a team where it feels like they've been kind of, finding a lot of 1-1s. A little back and forth. They found a really nice 2-0 against Fear last week, but that was after an 0-2 against TLC. To see them have a series where it really is this one-sided into Wildcard, you can build up a lot of confidence heading into playoffs, where 3 of the 5 members of the Skies are looking to hoist that trophy yet again.
That's what this come up is all about right here for DSG. I think it's been really interesting to see how these members all cohese. I think the trio, obviously having worked together, presents a lot of stable ground to function around, but it's the fact that they've been able to seamlessly integrate Young and Meech into this power trio that has been so impressive.
Just deep breaths now as this game's about to wrap up, Mazelle. This one's not very interesting to me anymore. I don't know.
That's why we talk about
Yeah.
DSG and bringing the team together.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, they're together. They're S5. There's nothing else stopping them in this one. DSG continuing to scale for playoffs, where you go from best of 2s to best of 3s, and then eventually, if you do well enough, best of 5s. That's where you really get to earn your toast.
That is
DSG
true. Hopefully one of the two...
Watering up the rest of the base. I don't know. I'm just trying to... I'm entertaining myself now.
You're reaching. It's
I
okay.
am.
It's all right. I will just say one last equalizer will be potentially a difference maker. And finish the rest, but the hostile takeover comes right back on top, and DSG are just wiping away the red that was Wildcard on this rift. One last big blade caller. It's not enough, though. And DSG should just put the final touches on this one, especially with the way that they're just decisively going for these kills. You got Young going forward on the Kaisa, an incredible moment. But DSG with that comeback 2-0 and some revenge from the last time these two teams met. And some momentum in this final week of the LCS Challengers League. They represent well, and their toast ain't burnt today.
I appreciate the creativity coming out of Wildcard. This was an interesting game early on, but when you are not able to connect with the early game plays with a competition like this, this is what the late game looks like. Wildcard end up falling 0-2 in disguise.
Yeah.
Big win for them. They closed the gap. So much so, as they are going into FlyQuest Challengers. Still, if they get lucky tomorrow, might have a chance to take that solo second seed by themselves. So really solid 2-0 by Disguise. Just we're shaking things out in our standings here to create some space between Wildcard, who they came into the day tied up with.
What a hot series from DSG, though. We're going to take a little break, cool off a little bit. We'll be right back with our Verizon post-game interview.
Welcome back, everybody, to the LCS Challengers League broadcast. Here at the Verizon post-game interview with Golden Glue, the coach from Disguise, who just came off a 2-0 victory over Wildcard. Golden Glue, congratulations on the win. You guys lost 2-0 to Wildcard earlier on in the season. Did you have this date marked on your calendar as a way to get back?
You know, I definitely think we were looking forward to this match because I have a lot of respect for Wildcard. I think they do a lot of innovative strategies, as you can even see today. So I wasn't too gung-ho, like we have to 2-0 these guys, but I was happy to see how our team performed versus like some kind of wacky strategies.
Speaking of, that Game 2 draft from Wildcard went a little bonkers there with the Warwick and the Kiana. As a coach in that situation, what is going through your mind as you have to quickly adapt to different picks and different strategies being unveiled?
Yeah, so they also picked a 4-5, so we didn't have that much time to talk about it, but the main things we're trying to talk about is I'm just trying to tell them like what the biggest strengths of their champions are going to be. You know, it's like Warwick's going to be really strong in lane. They're going to try to freeze in 2v1. So we were talking about that, and then also just how to set up objective fights, and that we need someone to mark Kiana is a really important part because that's like her strength. So it is kind of stressful because I feel like there's a lot to talk about in a short amount of time when they pick those kinds of champions. But I think the team played pretty well today, so we kind of just played more like standard, and we did it appropriately.
Looked pretty good in that 2-0. I mean, stepping back for a little bit, this is the first time we've gotten to talk to you on this broadcast all year. I just want to ask how you're doing and how this gig with Disguise has been going.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You know, I've been kind of taking hiatus for the first time, and you know, I wasn't actually planning to coach or manage or do anything this split, but I was pretty excited with what Toast was doing, and I kind of like thought he was memeing when he tweeted it out, and I responded as well. And then like next thing I know, I'm like having conversations with him and the COO Robin, and you know, it's I'm pretty grateful to be back in the scene, and I'm really grateful to be in the position where I am. I really like the players that we work with. You know, all the players are like doing a really good job, and I was really happy. Like this was kind of like a very last minute bootstrappy operation.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the players are doing a really good job of like being disciplined, even though we're like full remote. And I think, you know, Zazel as well has like a lot of experience and is honestly helping me coach this team and manage the team as much as I am. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the split and happy to be back.
I want to touch on that a little bit more because you've been a part of a bunch of different teams throughout your career. Now it's run by an influencer, and all of you guys are remote. I feel like these are two different things that you weren't necessarily super used to coming into this year. Is there anything different about this split compared to some of your other experiences?
Yeah, I mean, everything is different. This feels a lot more grassroots, like OG League of Legends, like 2014, back when I was like still like 17, 18, trying to go pro and whatnot, where everyone is kind of like doing, you know, everyone has their own lives. Everyone's still remote, like living wherever they live. You're not like in a full daily routine where you're always together. So honestly, I really enjoyed that aspect because I've been kind of like, you know, in gaming offices all day, 6 days a week. So it's kind of nice. You kind of get more of your freedom back when you're playing remote. You kind of get to like have a more feeling of like your own life and identity. So I've been enjoying that a lot. And plus because Toast basically like lets me do with the team with what I want. I don't have like any upper management really like telling me what to do. I get to make like all the decisions of like who we're scrimming, when we're scrimming, how practice is going to look like. So I really enjoy that like autonomy. And it just kind of feels like more organic, to be honest.
Yeah, going back to the roots, you know, back to when League of Legends at its glory. That's what we love to see here, this split. I mean, overall, you have some experienced players like Zazel, as you were mentioning, but also some new guys with Young and Meech. They looked pretty good in both games of this series. I just want to ask you how that's been trying to build these new players up with a team full of vets.
Yeah, Young and Meech have been doing a great job, and I really would say they're kind of like the like weapons of the teams. Like when they're carrying, they're really carrying the games. Like Meech Aphelios and like Young on Akali has been like game one. You know, it was a huge performance on the Akali that let us win that game. So I think they're doing a really good job being consistently strong in their roles, and like if the game is even, they tend to get advantages over their opponent, which is like a really big thing for carry players to be able to do. So really happy with how they've been performing.
And continuing to grow into the playoffs that start next week. Golden Glue, we wish you the best of luck, and once again, congratulations on that 2-0 victory over Wildcard. Leave the floor to you if you have any shout-outs.
Shout out to the players for sure. Shout out to all 5 of them. Aaron, Young, Meech, Tomio, and Zazel. You know, I think they're all doing a really good job. Shout out to Toast and all of our Patreon supporters. And yeah, I mean, shout out to all my fans and family who's been like supporting me through like the transitions in my own career. So appreciate all of that. Yeah.
You're now the second disguised person that I got to talk to that plugged the Patreon. So well done. Toast's been training you well, Golden Clue. Thank you so
100%.
much. We're going to move on to our last series of the day. Our 2 LCS representatives going to be going at it between Team Liquid and Evil Genius's Challengers. Don't go anywhere. You're not going to want to miss it.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.